Well, hello, good morning. Nice to be with you again. From our earliest days, all of our actions are filled with choices. We are faced with choices because we are free to decide based on our experience, instinct, or maybe external influences. Many of these choices will turn out to be good ones, and some bad. Ooh, that branch looks strong enough to take my weight. Whoops. Remember that duff car you bought? Or maybe it was a pair of shoes. Well, that was a mistake, wasn't it? We've all done it, and we'll all do it again as long as we are free to choose. Sometimes we make choices that aren't really choices, but are more or less forced on us because of circumstances beyond our control. So for that reason, they are not really our mistakes, if they turn out badly. Sometimes, with a bit of effort, we can even work out when the initial mistake was made and by whom. So it wasn't our fault at all. But we've all made mistakes that sports commentators like to call unenforced errors. Our history is riddled with these, some of which are monumental in their scale and have had long-lasting effects. Thomas Midgley was an American engineer in the automotive industry who discovered that putting a tetraethyl lead into petrol made the engine work better. So for 50 years, we slowly poisoned the air with lead. Whoops. But while he was on a roll at the inventing lark, he came up with a substance called CFC, or Freon gas. A boon to every household because this made domestic refrigeration and air conditioning an economical and popular proposition. Until, that is, that climate scientists in Antarctica observed that the ozone layer of the atmosphere was depleting with potentially disastrous effects. The culprit was, yes, Freon gas, which was quickly banned. Whoops. Fortune didn't smile on Tom, and in later life he suffered an illness that hampered his mobility. So he invented a system of strings and pulleys to help him get out of bed. Unfortunately, one day he fell out of bed and he strangled himself to death in all the strings. Whoops. Poor Tom was a successful engineer and inventor who did, I've no doubt, much to be recommended. But he will be remembered mainly for his mistakes. People who make mistakes have one thing in common though. They're all human. We all make mistakes and hopefully we learn from them. It would be a terrible shame if we didn't and kept repeating them. But we do that as well, of course, when we don't recognise them or fail to own up to them, even to ourselves. So, is there a way of avoiding making mistakes? Well, yes and no. A surefire way to avoid making mistakes is to do nothing at all. The man who never made a mistake never made anything. So if you do things, there is every chance that one day, sooner or later, you will make a mistake. And where errors come from wrong or bad choices, well, that's part of life. When I became a manager, my boss told me that getting 2 decisions out of 5 right is a good average. No better way to learn and improve, as long as you don't keep making the same mistakes over and over again. And in the same way as we would wish to be forgiven our mistakes, we should extend the same to others. A bit of forgiveness goes a long way. Just saying. So keep doing things. Keep learning. And don't worry too much about mistakes that can be put right and avoided next time. The thing is, most mistakes are like a bad haircut. Give it time and it will grow out and you can get another one done better next time. You've now learned something about barbers, that some are better than others. It's also true that some mistakes have turned out to have happy endings. Like that time when you made a mistake and got the train time wrong, so you wandered around the town and bought that little bowl in a junk shop for 50 pence, and it turned out to be worth a fortune. You know, that sort of thing. So keep on doing things. Make mistakes and triumphs, because the difference between them often isn't that much. So enjoy your cake and coffee and get busy with the phone.